So since last video, I've just went round and outlined the flower, the leaves, and the little extras, the spikes, and these little pointy out bits and pieces. So if we turn off all the underlying layers, we can see we've just got the basic line art at the moment. Now I'm using quite a thick line to do the outlines, which I quite like doing. Now for the leaves, we could start adding more detail to them. We could just leave them as a basic leaf like this, just the one line down the middle, and that's fine, that works. We could go ahead and put some more detail in them. So I'm going to move the size of the brush down a bit. Yeah, it's about a good size. And we're going to turn this up a bit. So if we were to look at a leaf in real life, they have the veins running down them, usually pretty light. Now we can replicate these veins. We don't have to make them super heavy. We can do them, you know, one way I like to do them is just throw in lines. They don't have to be particularly evenly spaced. We can throw them just down one side of each leaf, the underside if we so wish. You see this quite a lot in old school, just the one side of the leaf with the lines, the veins on them. Again, turning the canvas around whilst you're drawing. Either if you're doing this on a computer or if you're doing it by paper, just physically turn the paper so your hand's drawing in a comfortable position. So we're just going to quickly throw some lines down each of these leaves. Again, you don't have to put the lines in if you don't like them. If you think they look better just bare and open, go ahead and do that. It's completely a personal choice. It's what you think looks best here. This just takes a little bit of time. So on these ones, I've been putting the lines fairly evenly spaced, not perfectly spaced. You can change that, doing in like so, put more random if you want. I'm going to stick to being more even because I've done the rest of them like that. But again, you don't have to have all of them matching. If you want some of them to be even spaced, some of them to be more sporadic, if it looks good, go ahead and do it. Yeah, then they're not always perfect on a flower itself, on a leaf itself, so you don't have to make them perfect if you don't want to. So we've just got the one left to do now. Again, I'm doing what I would consider the underside of the leaf. So this side would be facing up, this side would be facing down. You don't have to do them like that if you don't want. You can do them on the oversides. You can do them alternating if you want. You can do on both sides. You know, if you think, you know, doing this would be good, you can. The lines, the veins don't have to stop at this line here. If you wanted to run them off a little bit and give them the effect of having some type of texture on the edge, again, you can do that if that's what you want. I'm just going to leave them like this for the moment. Let's zoom out so we can see it a bit better. So you can see the leaves are already starting to get some more detail. It's starting to separate them from the image itself, so it doesn't look as flat. Oh, I forgot the one leaf here. There we go. Now we can do the same type of thing with the petals. We can put lines on them that indicate and suggest which way the petal's turning. I'm going to make the line a little bit smaller for this one again. There we go. So what we generally do is we look at, I tend to think where we have these joints in the curves, that's a good place to throw just some little lines in them. Again, the lines don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be exactly parallel. Now here we could throw a bit of a curved line in to give the illusion that the petal's curving. It looks like it's kind of folding a little bit on itself here. Another way we can do it is, if we want to do a line all the way down the whole length of the petal, we can. Then have another one come out in almost a V shape, and that suggests maybe a bit of a ridge. So maybe there's a part of this petal's folded underneath itself. Again, on this, what we were calling a damaged part, we could quite easily follow some lines from them and give the petal some detail and some dimension. Now these leaves don't always have to come from the edge. It looks good when they come from the edge. I like doing them like that. They can come from the inside as well, so if we just flip our canvas around a little bit and we look at this one, if we imagine the leaf was folding this way, bending over, so it's not going straight, we've got some bent leaves, we can throw some lines on the insides of them. Again, we'll throw a couple of them on here as well. And if you've got them on the inside, you can put them on the outside as well. They're not exclusive. It's not one or the other. We can put them however we wish, whatever you think looks good. Let's rotate back. So I think maybe a couple of lines on this one. Now, I generally don't like to leave any leaf just bare, any petal, sorry, bare. So I like to put some type of line work on all of them, so they don't look just plain. They've got some character to them. Maybe a little in there. That's fine. Now I generally don't like to put lines on these insides here because these are flat facing to us. There wouldn't be that many curves in them, but we can throw a couple in the edge here, especially if you want to do the whole length of the leaf as well, the petal, sorry. That's more of a new school thing to put them on there, but whatever you think looks good, you go ahead and do it. Now, we were talking about this inside of the bud before. There are a few ways we can do this. We can just leave it open like that, and that's fine. We can just throw another small petal inside it. We can throw a couple of small petals if we so wish. That's a way to do it. That looks, that always looks good. We get the idea that there's some more petals inside this, and it's not just a hollow area. So pretty much we've got to most of the details you'd be wanting to throw onto this before we'd start looking at shading. So as you see now, from what we start off, it's a very loose line work with just three line weights basically. We've got a thick line for the outlines of everything, a slightly thinner line I've used for the veins of the leaves, and then a thinner line still just for the details on the petals. So we've went from something very loose and very rough. We weren't planning, we were just going wherever we wanted to. We've made it into what actually looks like is a usable tattoo design now. I say tattoos, this is what I draw it for. This could be used for tattoos. We could use it for illustration. We could use it for many things. So far we've got from nothing to the basic idea into a final line drawing. In the next video, I'll start talking about shading and some contexts of where I'll be putting the dark shading, where we're putting light shading and so forth. And then after that, we'll look at fully rendering and finishing the colouring. So I'll see you in the next video.